Hello everyone, welcome back to chess. We're playing 1510 as white against Chess Laws? Chess LAs? I don't know. Sorry, we got I just finished eating I don't know. It's like I never have a clear throat, but also I don't really want to wait to start recording, so here we are. You just have to listen to me ahem a few times. I guess I could be prodigious with the mute button. Prodigious the right word there? Prolific? Prodigious? They're like related but not exactly right. Yeah, we castle. Okay, and I remember once they pushed this, I wanted to actually play h3 this time because I hate it when the bishop gets here. Okay, but they haven't done that yet, so let's just get another knight out. I don't know. Let's just prepare this now before something weird happens. What's this knight up to? He's attacking my bishop. That's what. We have kind of an interesting sacrifice here, right? Check, takes, check. The king's lost castling rights and is out in the open. We're down a piece, but up 2 pawns. We have stuff like queen here someday soon. It sounds kind of fun. And like maybe after here, knight. I don't know. Where does the king go? This has got to be fun, right? I don't know for sure that it's good, but it's got to be fun. Back here would be best, please, if you wouldn't mind. Check. Like that. And then we can, maybe if the king doesn't step forward, we can probably just push this pawn to claim more center. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't think you were going to actually do it. Wow. Okay, sure. I guess this is defending with the queen. Should I do something other than grab the rook? Possibly. I should check in case there's some better move. I don't think there is though. Yeah. All right. And then there's this, but they can take the pawn, but that's fine. Now, what about like pin the knight first, and then attack it? It's probably better. I can attack it, then it runs, then I check, and then the king leaves. I think similar things happen if I like try this. King moves, then I attack, then the knight moves. Is the queen in any danger here? I don't think so. There's also this, I guess. Or just maybe push and then rook over. I don't know. Let's just get the queen out. Queen opposite the king. It's got to be a good positional thing. It makes them do something kind of awkward. Like I think they have to retreat with the king now, which I can't imagine they're happy to do. I mean, they're happy to like get the king out of harm's way, but not necessarily happy to spend a move on it. Is all. And maybe I don't have to actually push with the pawn once they retreat because it's not really accomplishing anything. This way I just developed my queen with tempo and defended this pawn, so they don't have this anymore. Oh, they didn't have it anyway. I guess I had a knight here. Hmm. I guess what is this threatening? Knight here, but it's guarded. Knight. Okay, let's highlight all the squares the knight can move to and see if any of them are a serious problem. Because I don't think they are. This is fine. We take with bishop. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Fine. Yeah. I guess this way they can maybe sack a knight, but it's not really any better than losing this knight. I don't think. In fact, I think it's worse because this knight is better than this one. Okay. Should be bishop, right? Wow. I mean, I don't know. I guess this way you don't have a pinned bishop, but you also have a pretty weak king structure. You're super weak on the light squares. I guess I don't have a light square bishop, so maybe it'll turn out okay somehow. But this seems useful. It attacks this bishop, it attacks this pawn. It attacks here, although that doesn't matter so much because it's well defended. Maybe that's why they took this way, to let the queen out. What about this check? There's no blocking, so the king has to move. But I don't think I can make him go anywhere particularly powerful. I guess, I don't know, this bishop development, guarded by the queen, looks sort of powerful. So I suppose here... I don't know, I think that just puts my bishop into a pin and it kind of sucks. Activate the rook. I don't think my opponent has any particularly good threats against me. There's like this discovery against my pawn is a little bit unnerving. Maybe that's why I want to keep a rook available for this. Or even bishop here. Anyway, I think knight here should be okay. They probably move the bishop probably to here. And then I have a decent knight that's coordinating on this square. He's vulnerable to being kicked by a pawn in a bit, but don't think he's sad to wind up here, so... Or even maybe here? E3, F4, that's what those squares are called. I mean, I have a healthy advantage here, but this game is by no means beyond losing. I could easily manage it. And any position with queens on the board, I can lose. Pretty much. I don't know. I want to do something with my bishop. Really? Is there some threat of this discovery here? It doesn't seem to do anything. I'm happy. I mean, it's their bad bishop. Well, wait. What if I went here? That would be better, right? I still get to take a bishop, but I also make them move a rook, and I get this pawn as well. I don't think this bishop's threatening anything. Yeah. And now it's this bishop I get to take, which although yeah, it's their better bishop, and also it's the one that when the king retakes, I can expose him to some attacks. Or actually, this would be the better one, right? Okay. Lining up against the king means that this I couldn't do because the pawn is pinned, but I can just take this bishop, which is what I wanted to do anyway, and then address this rook threat. Also, the queen's here, so it's sort of fine. There's this, but I think that's just too greedy. I just need to make sure nothing bad happens to my king. Check. Seems like an improvement anyway. Actually, right. I was supposed to do something like this, I think. I forgot already. But I mean, getting the pawn more advanced is nice. It blocks this, but I didn't really want it. I don't think. Kick the knight. He could go here or here or here. I'm not thrilled about him arriving on e5. But I am thrilled about getting a bishop to b2 and connecting rooks. I don't know, this just gives my opponent tempo, and I don't really want to do that. What could I do instead? Bishop here, I suppose. But then this, so... Yeah, I think if I want to develop my bishop, I need to get rid of the knight. Okay, so I lose a little tempo. Not the end of the world. And I want to maintain watch for now over g2. So that there's no like rook sack, king takes, queen here, weird nonsense. Could be sort. I don't think it's working yet, but with a knight hanging out here, it could be something. Ooh, also this pawn is pinned, so what I can take with the queen. Anyway, I think I need to push g3 pretty soon because this rook is a menace. I guess I could have gotten the queen out with check and then pushed. I mean, I don't have to push this, right? I do have my queen watching, but it's pretty scary. What if I attack the knight and say, come on in? I don't know. I feel like the knight could probably go someplace upsetting, like here maybe? Attacking the bishop, and I can't take it because my queen is tied down to this square. Yeah, I don't think I want to blow up my pawn structure just to attack this knight once. And now my bishop can anchor this down a bit better. We want to get pawns on light squares to complement the bishop on dark squares. That's how this half of the board is sort of working at the moment. Over here, I don't know. This doesn't look ideal, but it's sort of working for now. I don't think we actually want to take this knight, even though it is trading material while ahead, because it just invites more attacker, it invites pawns to attack over here, which I don't much want, and opens up this bishop to maybe join in somehow. Yeah, like this. Pinned, so could be a problem. So the bishop is really just defending here. Interesting. So he's threatening this, I guess. Well, not really. I can take with queen. Threatening this, maybe? Because this is pinned? Although here... Attacking the queen and discovering a defender? But no, this pawn is pinned, so I would just lose the queen if I did that. Because this queen would take it. Let's just get out of the pin. Easy. Could have done that before instead of pushing this pawn, actually. It just didn't occur to me. A little dangerous with the dark square bishop around, but he's kind of cordoned off pretty well for now. There's ideas like queen e6 into like this stuff, maybe? Now that I don't think I need my queen to defend over here anymore, I could do something more aggressive with her. Maybe just leave her camped on e6, actually. All right, king's moving. So now this queen over here is not so likely to work out. I think we just push. I don't need to do anything with my pieces at the moment. Okay, rook. Maybe threatening this. But I would happily play queen up here, I think. Maybe not with a rook on that file, I suppose, because it makes it hard to escape. What is the purpose of this pawn move? Is it just attacking the queen, or is it doing something else? Establishing an outpost here, sure. Ah, unveiling this. Although it's defended at the moment. I think I'm just going to get the queen out of the way preemptively and pin this pawn as well. Also threatening here. This file is kind of a dead end with the until the king move. Well, I don't know. Even yeah, this bishop is doing a great job of keeping the file under control. So being over there is not so productive. Break down the queen side like that. I want to make some progress on the queen side. Involve some rooks as well, maybe. Yeah, I think I can do this. Although I should probably get a rook in first, right? Like here. What's the purpose of that? Here, obviously, but My queen is a sufficient defender, I think. There's a bishop here. I do have to actually get a rook involved before I can make this push happen. Um, let's get this one. I don't know. He's already in the queen side, which is nice, but I also like the idea of having a rook around to help out my king somehow. I'm not sure it actually can, though. Actually, I just can't make this push with the bishop here. I don't think I should have made this pawn move. I don't know. Opening up lines is probably worth losing a pawn. Huh. I just win this pawn. I don't see any compelling reason not to. Comes with tempo against the rook. They may shift majors over to the H file when I back up, but I think I can just push the pawn up again. Actually, if they try that, I'll probably back up further. This is the threat, which I should not allow. Maybe go here. Keep an eye, or just to get out. I go anywhere to get out of the fork. Actually, I don't know. I don't really want the knight to land there at all, though. So let's keep an eye on that square. It's a pretty strong knight. Also, I'm watching over this pawn as well. Mm-hmm. And I think I do move to here now that the knight is moved, because attacking him would be productive. Well, maybe not. It's getting a little scary for sure. Because again, if I attack him, like suppose I actually spend tempo on attacking the knight, they take and they get this bishop on the king side, which I don't like at all. I think I'm going to drop back more than strictly necessary. Because the knight's not really doing much right now. Actually, but yeah, I don't want to block the view of my queen's view of f3. So what if I went this far back? I think it's one of these two moves. This is undefended, and any move that gets the knight here would be a problem. I think I have to go with this. Just to stay participating in the defense. This is not a trade I want to make. We're just going to advance the pawn again here. Once they bring the queen over, I assume. Check, I guess, is a move. Queen's guarding, but so is their queen. That's pretty cool for them, not me. Yeah, maybe I should take the knight. Therefore, just so if they don't go in for knight f3 now, maybe I should take the knight. I don't know. This is such an important square right now, and giving the bishop an excuse to attack it would be really bad. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I think if knight moves, I go here. They're threatening this pawn. Ooh, that's spicy. Ooh, so is this. Yikes. Boy. So threatening something like here, I guess. And then when takes, I'll be in trouble? No, I can bring my queen over. Eventually. I think I have to run with the king first. I don't want this knight in the vicinity at all. Now that they've already done this, open this up, I think I want to get this knight out of the way. My bishop's not really doing anything, I don't think. Hanging onto this pawn is not that useful. Just like, am I going to survive this? I think I am. As long as I can clear out this square. Yeah, so that's why we had to take the knight. I could also not take the bishop, I suppose. Yeah, of course. I would prefer to grab the rook. So they can't just immediately sack the bishop. I don't think. Actually, if bishop here, I think would be a blunder. Because of bishop back, discovering an attack and attacking my queen. Okay. Now, get out preemptively. So I can bring the rook over. Hey, if they keep spending 2 moves to put a major piece is attacking my king, and then I spend 1 move to switch files again, that sounds promising, I guess. I'm sure it's not that simple, but so this was my plan in that case. The bishop is now pinned. And then we can take with rook. Maybe they get the queen out of the way, but then we take... No, that would be... Pawn's pinned now. Yeah. But I'm happy to trade queens, so I think just queen here. Go away, he shouted loudly. I suppose this is a possibility. Attacks the rook, threatens checks. This doesn't seem like really much of an issue. Yeah, it's even guarding that. I don't see what they can do that's a problem for me. I haven't used my rooks yet. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of using this guy. What do they threaten? Something like this, maybe, would be an interesting response to defend the rook and gain some tempo against my queen, but I'd be happy to threaten their queen. Or actually, maybe better, take the bishop, attacking the queen in a different way. Actually, I'm not sure that would be a good trade for me. Here, I'm up a bishop. Now we trade queens. I'm down a rook. So mean, that gives me something, but... So can we just take this? No, right? Check? Is this anything? I don't think so. I think now that we have... Really? I thought there was no way that was going to happen. That queen was their only asset. Okay, I mean, I'm happy with it. Let's activate the other rook. Oh, also it was under attack by the bishop, I just noticed. So lucky dodge on that one, I guess. Oh, we get to trade rooks. They can't get it off of these two files. Nice. Kind of embarrassing I didn't notice that till it was almost my move again, but it's just like a generally good move that worked out well. Yeah, you can't touch light squares, so I can just move this. Should I do something else? Like check the king? I don't know. These pawns are the ones the bishop can get to, but we have them both guarded by the king, so I have kind of a rook who's a free agent. Maybe push a4 soonish. I don't know. We can pick off this pawn as well. Because it's on a light square. I'm fairly confident I will not be losing this one at last. This pawn's going to be a little bit trickier to get, so I'll take it while I can. Check. Only legal move is king here. And then push. Okay. You can go after my a pawn if you want, I suppose. Oh, that's not true. King can go here. I mean, obviously, if they attack the a pawn, I can defend it, but then they can attack the c pawn, which is even more valuable. So I'm just going to hang on to the c pawn and let the a pawn wither on the vine. Thinking this one over, huh? I sort of expect at some point soon to see bishop f6 to go after the promotion square. They might like bishop e5, but I have a pawn on that, which is rather nice. So the only way to stop the pawn is to go here and then here. But then I can come in with the rook, and I think it's all over. Could I pre-move d7? Is there some reason not to do it? Like, my king really is in a fortress, right? There's no way any piece except these pawns, if they somehow were freed, could attack me. And the pawns can't be freed as long as the rook's on this file. Yeah, no, the bishop could trade for a pawn, and then, but then the only thing that could attack would be the king. So like, I think I'm good. I can pre-move this, right? Whether they blockade or not, I still want a rook here guarding that square. There's a million ways to win, but this is one of them, right? Yeah. Okay, mate in two. Very short ladder, mate. All right. So what happened this game? We got all this stuff going. This knight move. I don't know. Also, like, this pawn move maybe is wrong, but it seemed okay. Um, I was going to want to make it at some point. And I kind of wanted to delay maybe what I was doing with my other decisions with the other pieces. I don't know. I think Stockfish is not going to hate this, but it won't be his favorite move. I usually end up playing this, and I think it usually goes fine, but then I tend to blunder by developing my bishop and dropping the b pawn. So maybe this is a way to watch out for my future self, not give me that opportunity to make a mistake. I'm pretty sure this sacrifice is good. Opponent made it much better, of course, by giving me the rook. But the knight is sidelined, and we take away the king's castling rights and two of their most central pawns. Okay, I mean, this one's more central than this, but it's close. We get a strong knight. I think it's good. Maybe Stockfish won't love it, but I bet it will. I like this pawn move. I like this queen move, I think. Although, like, what if I did attack it first and then check? That was what I was thinking about in the game. I don't think it really works very well. Well, actually, where does the knight go? I was imagining here, but that actually doesn't work because the check comes with a fork against the knight in that case. And so the knight actually has to run in reverse to go out to one of these squares. All the forward-going moves are handled by a queen on this square. Huh. And then once the knight does go in reverse, let's say, where exactly does he want to get to eventually? Maybe here's an alright spot for a knight, so he goes that way, I guess. Here. Check. The king runs back to, I suppose, here? Behind the safety of the pawn? Not sure. Maybe he wants to get over to this side, but probably not, because he needs to develop the rook, so this is sort of what I imagine might happen. And then we can still develop this knight attacking the bishop. Seems also playable. I think my opponent made a mistake again with that knight move and letting me win a knight. Also blocking in their bishop. I think this knight move was good, attacking the dark square bishop, but in the end I end up getting the light square one instead, which I guess is fine. This check, yeah, it's got to be good, right? It blocks in this. It keeps the bishop locked in better. I don't want him escaping over here. I don't like this move. I didn't like it when I played it, but I didn't see anything better. I wanted to get the bishop involved. And I needed to do this first, I think. But they get this monster knight as a result. Maybe I should just be happy that, you know, my knight and bishop, my bishop and their knight are canceling out. Because my bishop's not going to do anything very good anytime soon, and their knight could. What's with the rating gains here? Why did I gain more than they lost? I guess it's just like more uncertainty about my rating. How long has this guy been playing? Only 15 games. That's weird. What's the uncertainty about your rapid rating? 45. And mine? 49. Huh, weird. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I don't like this pawn move. They get this great knight. Maybe. Oh, right. I also was thinking, I forgot. Maybe this rook move would have been better at this stage. It attacks the king and x-rays the bishop. And then after king, presumably here, we have like this piling up on the bishop. Now, the queen is still eyeing up the g2 square, which is important. I don't know. I think this... You know, let's load up the actual analysis board. Yeah, opponent hasn't done a computer analysis, so I kind of want at some point to like. So I think I talked about this in some previous videos, but it was a while ago. You know, some players were suggesting, both on the chess subreddit and someone in the comments on my videos, were suggesting like, you know, do the analysis yourself before you ask the computer to do it, and you'll learn how to analyze better, which is good advice. And what I should do also is like write down the moves that I was considering differently, so that when I have the computer analysis, like here I was considering this, for example. Now I'll know that I was thinking about that once I asked the computer what to do. And I can even, I guess, go a bit further, right? How do I... There we go. So I was imagining this, maybe this. The queen's pretty sad, but I think she's going to be no matter what, and she can get out this way eventually. So I imagined like this as my continuation. And we've got the rook nicely locked down. And if we could add another attacker on this square, it'd be pretty cool. It's not easy to do. You know, in a couple moves I could get here, but I don't think I want to invest in that. Just to trade my good knight for their bad bishop. Both bishops are bad in this context. Anyway, so that's a thing I was considering. And then all this is fine. And instead of this pawn move, I also considered here. something like this. Now, if they threaten queen here, this square is a little bit weak, but this isn't actually a problem because we just have this skewering the king to the queen and instantly winning the game. Right, something like this. And then just bring the queen back, probably. Or actually, maybe here would be better. Attack some things. So I think that this rook move might have been better. Pawn here was nice. It blocked their bishop in a bit better, but they always have this to activate the bishop, so I think getting another piece involved would have been an improvement. And also, then I could have put the queen here to attack the knight, rather than having to do this. I guess then I can still go back, but then I'm picking this up in that line where my opponent does a bunch of bad stuff, so it probably wouldn't be what actually happens. This move, I'm not really sure what it accomplishes. Yeah, what was this? Oh, right, it just gets my queen out of danger, sure. While keeping an eye on G2. Like I didn't have to play G3. My queen is here. Oh, but there's this knight thing, which I think should have been played a while ago, maybe. Right? Like, what is knight here now? Capture is illegal. So there's only one legal response. And then? Nothing, I guess. The knight just has to move again, and there's nowhere good to go. Yeah. Okay, so that knight move is no good. Would it be good now? I think so, yeah. So supposing I did nothing, make some nothing move like this. Now knight here, I still have to move, but now the knight interferes with the queen's defense of this square, and this is checkmate. So that's why this pawn move would be horrible. And I think this saves me. Wait a minute. There's not only one legal move if knight here. You just take with the queen. That was what I was planning in the game, and I forgot about it. Ah! I forgot about it in the analysis. But okay, I mean, I don't think G3 is a disaster. I think it's fine. It means my queen is a little bit less responsible for the safety of the king. This bishop move seems okay. Getting out of the pin seems fine. Pawn push is all right. Queen over, I guess, sure. This pawn move never bore any fruit at all. I think I should have done something more proactive. I thought of like breaking open the queen side, but I just have there's too much still going on over here for me to devote pieces to the queen side, and I can't do this with just pawns. So I think that was probably a mistake. Instead, I don't know, something like this probably. Just get the rook onto the open file. There's a bishop there at the moment, but I'm sure it'll be useful to do stuff like this maybe. I don't know. Even this. Something good could come of that move. This was pretty gutsy, I think, taking with the bishop. Because they can attack it eventually and it invites more pieces to the file my king is on. But I think it's okay. I don't know, maybe it's bad. Maybe that pawn is just like better for me than for the opponent right now. Because it's stopping pieces from attacking my king on the h file and it's not really threatening anything. I mean, I guess it could march twice. Try to open up my pawn structure that way, but I could hold steady and just be ready to do this. I think if taking this pawn might be bad. Wait a minute, am I stupid? No. I was thinking that they had played knight here, and that I just missed a million chances to capture. But that's insane. Of course, they played knight here, and no, the bishop can't capture that. I suppose I also could have moved my king back here to defend this square rather than moving my queen. But whatever, moving the queen seems okay. These pawns just barely have things under control. And this bishop capture, I wondered, I think if they ignore that and go in for this, it's like totally great for me, right? This comes with check, but not checkmate, so it's fine. That's what I was worried about when I captured here, is what if they just ignore the capture? What if they just go in for this immediately? Also, I guess is this a way to go in for it immediately? Instead of the queen, it's more forceful. Pawn takes seems probably good and gets my queen over. Yeah, this would be awful for black. Well, I mean, there's this check, but I can go here and I'm finally safe. Yeah. So I think this capture was okay. And what if I didn't make the capture? What if I... Problem is there's not much else to suggest. Pawn or bishop here doesn't work. They just take it, and I can't recapture. And I was scared about this, which I think they should have. Oh yeah, right. What if they played that on the previous move? What about this now? I can't capture. And I guess I want to get off of this file, so I attack it. And then, like... maybe they break my pawns down a little bit more easily this way? But there's no check. Well, there's this, I guess, but... I think we're defending. We get the queen over in time. I think the knight move would have been not that bad. I don't know. I think just getting rid of the knight was okay. God, stop. Okay. So they captured, and I went here, which I think has got to be right. Yeah. If I take, takes is pretty forceful. I don't know. I guess I get this. Forcing a queen trade, basically. That might be even better. What a greedy pawn take. But it wasn't, right? It was still keeping an eye out on the important square. It was threatening the rook. So I imagined maybe this. And I think I decided it would have been fine, right? I guess I could win the rook. Well, not win it, huh? Yeah, the king can protect it. But okay, I can give him a chance to drop it, and then when they don't, I can come back here. I don't know, maybe that gives them a chance to get to more safety? Don't know. Anyway, it doesn't seem that useful. And if they do play this, I was imagining that as my response. But now, ooh, I don't know. There could be something brewing. Not really. I can just, I mean, anything they do, I just trade queens, unless it's like this. In which case, take the bishop? Yeah. So I don't think rook there would have been any better, really. The queen trade was magnificent. And then I kind of fell into this move, which is nice, and the game was no problem at all from there. Okay, let's see what the computer thinks. Uh-oh. Well, that's gonna be a problem. Did I like drop a queen there or something? Okay, so one blunder in the opening and then one in the end game, huh? Well, that's interesting. So it hated this. Oh yeah, you can just take the pawn. Right, I always forget this. I've had this position come up before and I forgot how to do it. This defends the bishop. Okay. So what's wrong with this? Yeah, obviously king can go there, which would have been better. But I don't know, taking away castling rights and putting the king in the rook's way, this seems kind of nice. Okay, but fine, just win a pawn, sure. Oh yeah, bishop can take. Look at that. Okay, well that would have been a better move then. And any move but that would have been better. That might actually be the worst move on the board. Right? I don't know, this is probably also bad. I'm actually a little surprised that even dropping the rook lets me lose. Because, like, this bishop, I mean, it's a bishop versus three pawns, so sort of even. I guess my pawns are a little bit stuck. I guess they're stuck on dark squares in particular, and so my king kind of has to hang around to protect them. Meanwhile, their king can start dismantling the queen side, maybe. Interesting. Well, good. It wouldn't be an Amiloy chess game if we didn't make some huge blunder that risked losing the game at least once. But overall, I think a pretty solid game. Four inaccuracies, but whatever. Who cares? Doesn't like that developing the knight. It says go after the pawn first, huh? What is the point of this line? I guess we're taking away all their center pawns and developing a strong center. Okay, sure. And then now when I push this, it says it was wrong. It says, oh yeah, go in for this sooner. Interesting. So pawn here. The knight runs in reverse. Okay, apparently this is a little bit better than sidelining it on the H file. Oh. Wait, what? Pawn here? So queen here. What's defending this pawn? Why not just bishop takes, right? It's the obvious question. I don't see any tactic that wins the bishop. It's not to say there isn't one, but I don't see it. So is it some like collaboration of the knight and the queen going after the king instead? Like we go here, all right, the bishop's under attack. It has to move somewhere, say here. I mean, yeah, this is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know, this probably was the wrong line completely. Yeah. Okay, so if pawn push, bishop takes, knight here, yes. And it says just give up the bishop. But why not save it? What was I missing that can exploit this attack? Oh! Knight fork. I kind of got the idea that a knight alone couldn't do anything against the king, and I needed the queen involved. But actually, the knight can deliver forks all by himself. I see. So that's why they can't take here with the bishop. But like, why is this pawn move so good? Like, why can't I just play the knight move immediately? Bishop comes back to defend. Okay. But why can't that happen after this? Oh, it can, but then I win the knight. I see. Interesting. And it doesn't like this, which... It says you should push the pawn first. So the knight goes in reverse somewhere. Apparently e8 is best. And then we do this. I don't really understand why this is better. We get this check and pick up the knight. So why don't we get that with my actual line? Say they defend... Ah, they defend the knight. And they're still losing this knight, but at least they get a pawn for it? I guess, is the idea. Whereas if you push the pawn first... So if the king goes onto this diagonal, you pick up the knight. King goes here, you have this fork threatened. Now if the king goes here, it's just obviously horrible. I see. So we're threatening to win even more than just the knight if we play things in the other order. Okay. Anyway, what was my last inaccuracy? Oh. Just launch the f-pawn. That's a way to activate the rook in a way. I thought it was really important to hang on to this square, but... I mean, I guess this gets rid of the knight pretty well. He either has to go here, blocking the file access, or go way back to the queen side. And then I can bring rooks to bear on the defense more directly. It says, go ahead, just give up the bishop. You don't need him. Ooh. Spicy. Yeah, of course you bring the queen over to defend. Yikes, this looks a little scary. But I guess it's fine. We just step to the back rank and everything's peachy. Huh. Okay, well, I did not consider pushing the f-pawn at all. Alright, well, that'll do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.